What's going on, Malakis? VNNCZ3 here, and I'm so glad you stopped by. That's right, you Malakis. No one but you to come spend some of your quality time. Come hang out with, I guess, me today. I've got Seth. I cannot pronounce the name. I got Sep with me here. We are going to be doing some camp testing here. I love to do testing. I'm going to put out this camp right here, as you guys can see. I'll go step by step with you guys, but first we're going to attack an all infantry. I'll explain it as we go, okay? So 1 second here. I've got him on the line, so it makes testing so much easier. All right, go ahead and send. And so it's going to be all infantry with Loriver in it. And then your next one should be all infantry except for one troop. It's going to be a cav troop, right? So, yeah, I'm ready when you are. Yeah, just 1,000 infantry and an infantry phalanx. Yeah, we just got to make sure that we don't change too many variables, because we're testing to see if Loriver squad attack is going to do a significant amount of damage. Because if it changes the numbers by like 2 or 3, it's actually not bad at all, actually. It's really not. It's not a bad difference. Okay, ready when you are. Woohoo! Yep, all Royal Guards. Boom, just demolished me. All right, go, go, go. And then I will send out the same exact camp again. And then, oh wait, hold on. Yeah. I've got the reports. I'll go over the reports here in just a second. So I sent out the same exact march again, and then this time you just put in one cavalry troop. So yeah. You lost 214 and killed 420. So this one should make you do more damage, according to what you're saying. Like, a lot more damage. I am ready. In case you guys are wondering why he did so much damage, it's because he's got his leader in there. We did it this way so that he loses a lot less troops when he attacks. See, all of his gear, his talents, all that stuff come into play. All right, so you've got your one cavalry troop in here. Sweet. Let's look at the report. So you actually did less damage. Yep, you did less damage. You did 214 losses like you did before, but this time you only killed 419. You actually did less damage. Now I told you that would happen, right? Like I told you that would happen because all of your infantry troops are giving the buff to your infantry troops, right? So your infantry heroes like Big Guy, Demon Slayer, and your Oathkeeper are all giving big stats to your infantry. When you have Loriver in there, you got to remember that the squad attack that it does is damage. It only applies to the squad she is in. And so if her squad consists of one troop, she's doing 200% damage of just the one troop. So if I was to break it down like mathematically, if your one troop does 2 damage, 200% more of that is 4 damage. Do you see what I'm saying? But is that 200% for that one troop worth giving up all of that extra damage? And here's the answer. It's no, actually. So here's what we're going to do, right? I'm going to take out my Berserker, and I'm going to put in my Loriver, and then you're going to attack the camp one more time, just like you did the first time, right? With no cavalry in it. That way, we know for sure that no stats changed, nothing changed, except for the heroes. And I'll explain that here in a second, right? So we all know that there can only be 4 heroes of one troop type that show up in the battle per troop, right? So when you go to your formations, you see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 squads for infantry, 4 for cavalry. In the first march that you did, right? The first march you did, you sent out your Loriver, but you didn't send out a cavalry troop, right? So she couldn't attach herself to a squad. That's what you were worried about. And so when you go to view battle, when I change the camera angle, to look at you. So do you see my berserker in the back, guys? Right there, all the way in the back. But when I change this camera angle, you see his Lowever all the way in the back. And that's his leader, too. People would say, oh, that's my leader. It didn't get any stats. But no, it really did, though. It really did. See, look at the differences in the combat, right? 214, 420. He actually did worse on the second attack because he tossed in that one extra troop. All of those heroes like Oathkeeper, Demon Slayer, Big Guy, they're not giving that 30% infantry attack to that one cavalry troop. That is the big difference, and that's what I told you would happen, right? I told you that exactly what would happen. That it would do less damage that way. See, now his Lowever is inside of the actual march because the cav troop's there, and now we're going to go ahead and do this, right? So my berserker is still out there in the back. Still out there in the back. Doesn't matter, all the reports. So this time, send out one more march, and this time, make it all infantry, just like you did the first time, right? And I put in my my Lowever just to show that there's not going to be hardly any differences between the first march and the second march, right? So the first march is infantry. Yeah. Just like you did the first time. Yeah. That way we can that way we can 100% for sure say that it's a big difference or not, because my first camp that I put out was as such. Let me show you the numbers though, right? It's the exact same. It's the exact same. 214 and 420 in the first attack was 214 and 420. The only thing that changed right here was me trading out a hero. That's literally it. Watch the battle, right? I traded out a hero, that's it. And I gave the same exact amount of stats for me trading out that hero. Lowever for the berserker. A lot of you guys will be like, what's the word I'm looking for here? That's incomplete, that's not a true test, yada yada yada. But the numbers don't lie. They really don't lie. I promise you guys. 412 on the first result, 420 on my defense, right? And we got the same exact numbers this time. Same exact numbers. Now, what would make this test different is if I had multiple cavalry units. If I had like 5, 10, 20, 100 cavalry in here, then it would be a big difference in terms of the numbers. But you actually do less damage by putting in that additional cavalry unit, like I said, because on the attacks, as you guys can see here, the Big Guy, Demon Slayer, and Oathkeeper all give 30% infantry attack. That infantry attack, the cavalries don't benefit the slightest little bit off of that infantry attack. They just don't. So you're losing 90% attack stats for just that one troop to do less damage. Now, Sep, I told you that would happen, right? I told you exactly that would happen. I told you it would do less damage because of that specific reason. If you look at our chat, that's exactly what I said. So the test that we just did right there proved that it's correct. Like I was right, that it would do less damage. And so by changing out the heroes like I did, the numbers didn't change at all because I didn't change any of the stats. I added in one hero in there for the squad attack, but that 200% damage that it should do, that massive 200% damage, doesn't matter with just one troop. It doesn't do anything with one troop. This right here, it basically did, instead of doing like a half a damage, it did 1 damage, which is next to nothing. It's so negligible. So when you guys send out a rally or a march, you do not have to send a troop type of that hero to activate its special ability. You just don't have to, because that one troop makes you do less damage in the overall scheme of everything. It makes you do less damage. But that's pretty much about it right there. I mean, Seth, what are your thoughts about it? I know the guys here on YouTube can't hear you, but I mean, I can hear you. I can definitely relate the information. Right? It's good stuff. So basically, what you mean and what I mean is when I go to your when I go to SEP right here for Guildfest, you haven't registered just yet, but a lot of these guys are saying do one troop type right here. And so let me give you a good example. If this player right here, I'm not going to say the name out loud, you guys can see the screen, but if this player had a Lore Reaver instead of this Scarlet Bolt, he would actually do more damage inside of this actual march. He would do more damage. He would have the HP and the attack, because we all know Scarlet Bolt doesn't give any sort of real buff. She's just straight up administration, except for the infantry defense. 50% defense is not worth 20% attack. It's not worth the 20% attack or the 25% army HP that you would give up for the troop stat, okay? It's simply not. You will actually do less damage this way. And so hopefully that clears up a lot of the things for you guys. There's a lot of these players, and I'm not calling out Q for doing things bad. I'm not doing any of that stuff. But what I am saying is that, like, if this player right here had a berserker, or had, let me think here, like a berserker, Storm Fox, or any of the other heroes like these guys right here, if he had any of the army attack heroes that are gold, he would actually do more damage. He would do better in the overall guild showdown. He just would. Like, just numbers don't lie. Like, you would have more attack, more HP, and everything inside of that overall march, and it would make it more successful. You'll do more damage. But anyways, guys, look, y'all know what I'm talking about, though, right? Love, peace, and chicken grease. Be safe. Thanks for stopping by to spend some of your quality time. I'm still here. Give me a second. And yeah, stay classy. And hopefully this was not confusing to anybody, okay? If it was, let me know inside the comments. I will do a follow-up video of it. But I'm trying to help you guys out with your guild showdowns, your rallies, your marches, everything by doing these tests right here. But anyways, guys, look, stay classy, all right? Just stay classy. Oh, yeah. And don't always believe everything you hear. Do it yourself. Like, do the testing yourself. Or, like, watch one of my videos. Ink, right? And there's a little pink sound, right? Whatever. Anyways, look, it's a little cringe, all right? Just do me a solid. Don't always believe everything you're told, okay? Do the testing yourself, and that way you will know for sure if it does better or if it does worse. And in this case, I told Sep that it would do worse. Like this guy right here, he will do less damage in his march now because he did not add in an army stat hero of any kind. Because remember, only 4 heroes will ever show up in a squad at once. C Squire gives infantry attack, if I'm not mistaken, right? C Squire, my homeboy. Let me just double check my facts, right? Yeah, infantry attack. He gives infantry attack. So does the other hero. But anyways, guys, look, I don't want to dilly dally around it too much. Love you guys, all right? I really do.